home and be encouraged to come back tomorrow, and there must be a follow-up, someone to follow up. Can I come? Are you at home? Because we need to pursue this matter. Rape and abuse of women and children should be crimes against the state. So much that even when the victim withdraws the case, the state must proceed with the case against the perpetrator. Because families intervene, money exchange hands, and families say, we cannot embarrass our uncle like that. We cannot embarrass the breadwinner. You know you are what you are because of this uncle. You cannot report this case. Anyone who suspects that there was rape in that house, who suspects there was women abuse in that house, should be allowed to go and lay a complaint, even when you are not a victim yourself. Ore aparobale. Boshiwo mosadi wa kamo wa welela the whole night. Kitoi reporter tabeu, and police must take that case and put the best investigating officers until they find evidence and arrest this person, whether the wife opened the case or not. If you know of an abuse, if you know of violence against women, if you know of violation against children and grandchildren, you must be allowed to open a case, because those types of cases must be crimes against the state. The same way EFF always goes to police station. The DP and the TG went to open a case against the ESCOM COO. Even when the COO didn't steal from them personally, but because you stole from our people and you stole from the state, it is my responsibility. We must all be charged with that responsibility to report these people who are committing crimes against our women. We have heard you, all the women who have spoken here. I hope the former SG was taking the notes and is going to make follow-ups as a lawyer, because I've seen a lot of work that he's doing now. He's going after every government institution that has violated the rights of individuals, and he sues the state against those people. One of the cases he did was an old man who was killed in a hospital because a mentally disturbed person was let free, and that person went into another ward, stabbed the other patients, and stabbed the old man and killed that old man. The SG went against the Department of Health, and when he gave them the letter of demand, the department immediately said, we don't even want to argue. We know this is a case of negligence, and they paid immediately. When they paid, the former SG said to the family of the old man, we don't want anything. This is for you, it's for the family, because we are lawyers for justice. So sterilization against our women who have not consented, or even when they did under questionable condition like the one which was described here, we need to follow that case up as an individual case, and many others that the organization is dealing with, to punish this reckless state that undermine our women. Who said HIV positive women can't have kids? They've got kids now, and they continue to make very beautiful kids who are healthy, who some of them are even much older now, providing services to the state. So when you sterilize women against their consent, you are taking away potential from the state. We need to go after these doctors. We need the name of that white doctor. We need the names of all of them, so that we go after their practices. They must withdraw their licenses. They are not qualified to be doctors. Doctors and nurses are not murderers. They must save life. They must do everything in their power to encourage bringing life and saving life, not to take away life and prevent life. Any woman who wants to sterilize, it's her choice. She must not be denied that opportunity. But anyone who wants to make himself a mini God by deciding who's going to have a child, who's not going to have a child, then we must go after those people. The same way with those who want to do sex work. It is their call. These women have raised an important question which no one has responded to. Why are they criminalized and the buyer is not criminalized? I think you will like that case, SG, of sex work. I think you'll have to deal with it properly and bring all types of experiences into this matter so we can see how we can save the day. So, why is the buyer not arrested? You arrest the sex workers because they are women, and you can easily undermine women like that. Men who are the buyers, because they are men, you can't play with them. DP, it's a matter of legislature. It's not a complicated matter. It's a matter where we need to make a private bill, members' bill in Parliament. And the best way to do it, it can be done before the end of this month, the Women's Month, and say, we are putting here a private members' bill to decriminalize sex work. And we're not fighting with any religious person or anyone. Sex work, no one is forced to do that. Sex buyer, no one is forced to do that. So let people exercise their own right of choosing what they want to do with their lives. They've made a call here at TG. They said, because the streets are closed and the economy is closed, the sex workers do not have food. So in the immediate, perhaps we should buy the food parcels and give to the sex workers until the economy opens and we're able to go back and be able to provide for ourselves. So we have all the resources in Parliament to make proposals on legislation. In most cases, when we make proposal for legislation, these criminals who steal everything, including money of SMSs for COVID, they steal our proposals in Parliament. The legislation on state-owned bank, we put it to Parliament, they hijacked it. And after hijacking it, they derail the whole thing so that they make it impossible. I tell you now, the ANC Women's League has been in existence for donkey years, but it has never made a proposal in Parliament through private members' bill or through their majority in Parliament to decriminalize sex work. It's not about the legislation. We've got the power. We've got everything what it takes to make legislation. All it takes is a political will. In the absence of the political will, we can talk sex work, decriminalization for the rest of our life. Nothing will happen. So let us not be like all these magogos and madalas who are there in Parliament. We need to be proactive and propose legislation that is progressive and that is going to save our people. Comrades, we are here at Mama's grave to talk about the rights of our women, and she was the champion of that. But yet here next door in Zimbabwe, the rights of the people of Zimbabwe are being violated. Where's the rights of women? They abduct children from the streets, particularly girl children, rape them, and kill them in the bush. The police and the soldiers have become law unto themselves. Mnangagwa has become a pig and is eating his own children in Zimbabwe. Mnangagwa is not different to Ramaphosa. When they came in, a lot of us had thought something positive will happen. Things have become extremely worse. We need Zimbabwe back. We need Zimbabwe back into the hands of the women of Zimbabwe and the children of Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans are not cowards. Zimbabweans have fought before. Why is the youth of Zimbabwe fighting through hashtag? Why is the youth of Zimbabwe fighting from South Africa and London? Why are they not occupying the borders of Zimbabwe there in Musina? Who will support them and say no car goes into Zimbabwe, no car comes out of Zimbabwe until the rights of our people are restored in Zimbabwe? Why is the youth of Zimbabwe not rising in Zimbabwe and face death because they are already dead? To live with a mother who can be raped at any time by the state with no consequences. To live with a sister who can be raped at any time with no consequences. Our own comrades should stop the hashtag revolution and engage in the real revolution. They supported us during our struggle. We must support them now. And the most practical thing for South Africa to do, if Cyril Ramaphosa respects the human rights, as he claims to have drafted this constitution that they say is the best constitution in the world, he must withdraw the South African embassy from Zimbabwe and chase away the Zimbabwean embassy from South Africa until the rights of Zimbabweans are restored. It's the most less violent and not interfering with anything. But we cannot have presence in a country where human rights are violated. So we are the people of human rights. You have a problem with gays, you've got a problem with lesbians. In the EFF, you are not welcomed. Those comrades in the NCOP who voted against that bill of same marriage bill, civil union bill, the EFF people voted against it. We have instructed them to go and choose an NGO or any other organization that deals with those issues of lesbians and gays and all of that, and donate their monthly salary into those organizations, because what they did was extremely embarrassing and an EFF. But also it shows you that they do not know the EFF. Because the founding manifesto of the EFF explains and deals with those issues clearly, and they will not cause any confusion. Okay, if you have not read the founding manifesto, the manifesto that took you to parliament now in 2019 deals with those questions very clearly. So you don't even know the document which took you to parliament, and you want to get a salary from the same document. Now, all of those comrades are going to donate their money to this organization, to organizations as we have mentioned. And if they dare repeat that mistake, they will be opening doors for themselves to leave this organization, because here we do not discriminate. We are for everyone, and worse, we are for those who are weak, who are rejected, who are isolated and discriminated unfairly. Those are the people of the EFF. That's why Zimbabwe will always be our friend. That's why Palestine will always be our friend. Children are killed by Israel. Women are being violated. Israel wants to continue to extend its territory illegally and undermine the Palestinians. We are with the people of Palestine because they are the rejected, they are the undermined, they are the isolated. We are with the female doctors of Cuba who are everywhere in the world providing assistance to needy countries, including countries that have made sanctions against them. Italy passed sanctions against Cuba. But when they were dying, Cuba didn't say you pass sanctions against us, because they are informed by socialist solidarity. They knew that life matters more than politics. And they send their doctors to a country that has sanctioned them. And they are helping in Italy. They are helping here in South Africa. We must be inspired by those female doctors of Cuba, because we are nothing without international solidarity. We want the women of Western Sahara to own their land, to work in their land, and we want them to have their own freedom so that they can provide and feed their children in favorable conditions, because Morocco should stop the occupation of Western Sahara.